Let me eat this. That's for you. Alright. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Hammer, hammer, I am hammer. They put me in a mix. Alright. Here we go. What's up, everybody, man? This is the Mary and Ghana show. Tonight's episode, let me pull it up and see. Let me pull up my evil plan. My evil plan for all of mankind. You got something to say? Huh? You got something to say? Mm-hmm. Ooh, what was that? That was you? Alright, let's see what we got today. Even though I know what it is. Let's go to our Facebook page, Stephen Dalo Lyles. Follow. Or Americans for Africans in Marriage. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Why women hairstyles determine if they are low value or high value. Before you guys jump on me, let me explain. Well, obviously, she's wearing her natural hair. I'm about to take you to mommy. I know, I'm about to take you to mommy. She's 3 months old wearing outfits that are 6 to 9 months. As tall as can be. Just turned 3 months a few days ago. Incredible. But that's what breast milk do to you. I'm glad I was breastfed. Definitely. Alright guys, I can't really do a show with me holding her. I'm gonna take her to mommy and I'll be right back. So give it a few minutes. Don't cut it off. The show is gonna be, as I say, fire. It's gonna be a real good show. So if you got to this point, be patient. Alright? Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright. Now, for you guys who are going to be watching this on a YouTube replay, you're going to get a lot of the images that I'm sitting here talking about. That's the beauty of watching it on YouTube replay. Even if you watch it here on Instagram, even more beneficial for you to see it here first, live, then go over to YouTube and watch that edited version of the replay. So we're here to talk about it. I wanted to say something before I start. I'm trying to figure out what it was, man. Besides the fact that I lost a $550 order because of my own incompetence. And that goes to show that a lot of times I get angry at, some of the employees, the mistakes they make. And here I am, made a mistake that I call absolute incompetence and lost a $550 order for 10 yards of Mel Kente. Would have been pretty profitable. And after I smacked myself in the head, I've been angry with myself for the entire day because of that one lost order, because I don't know what happened. So, basically just said that something wasn't available that was, and by the time I realized and got back to the customer, refunded them the 550, realized that all I had to do was call and have someone check the shop, if not in the warehouse. So I'm just saying this to say that even when I get upset at some of my own employees, I get just as upset at myself. So I hold myself to the same level that I expect everyone else to be held to. So it's not like, oh, I can make a mistake and it's all right and all well and good. No, don't look at it like that. Same way that I hold them to a standard is the same way I hold myself. So that's just that. All right, man. Let's get into it. Oh boy. I think I got to tread a little carefully here, because I don't want to step on too many toes and make it seem something that it ain't. All right. So, let me go through what we got here. Let me type this in. This is what I want y'all guys to do. If you're not on a YouTube and you're watching on Instagram, this is what I want you guys to do. I'm going to type in something. I want you guys to type in the same thing. Google, that is. I want you guys to type in ghetto black hair. I even spelled hair wrong. I spelled it Haor. But even with the typo, it corrected itself. So, type in that and see what comes up. Now, these images need to be talked about. This conversation needs to be talked about. Wow, they actually have a Pinterest called Ghetto Hair, and nothing but trash ash looking people wearing ghetto hair. And this stuff sometimes is celebrated. But ghetto-ness is celebrated in Black America. And all of different ethnicity backgrounds and all that. They all have their ghetto people. They all have their lower class and their high class. So it's no different with black people. But we're going to deal with black people because we're black people. And this is a channel for black people. So that's how that goes. Now, what do I mean by should or why do a woman's hairstyle determines whether she low value or high value? I can't believe what I'm seeing right here. Give me 1 second. If you pulled up if you did a Google search and you pulled up what I just pulled up, down bottom on the left, few rows down, you see this chick with an Oreo cookie hairstyle. Literally has some way somehow got the Oreo package label on her head, the blue label with the Oreo cookie. If this ain't ghetto, I don't know what is. And this is what I mean by this, man. This channel, the foundation of this channel is to, as we grow this channel, to allow our subscribers and our guests to find a spouse. Not a boyfriend, not a girlfriend, but the foundational purpose of this, while we have these conversations, is to help us better ourselves, to prepare ourselves to either have a successful marriage or give encouragement for those who already are in a marriage. And we know nothing is perfect. So we all need encouragement. We all need a helping hand in life. So, we just got to make sure we put the right people around us in order that we can attain that. So, with that said, why is it reasonable to say that a woman's hairstyle determines her value? I say this. There are things that are associated. There are things that we see, images that are associated with certain things in life. You remember how they would do the place cards, throw them in front of you and say, what do you see? What do you see? What do you see? And automatically the mind sees the image and relates that to a specific thing or behavior or whatever it is, whether it's a noun, proverb, or adjective. And that's sort of what it is. When you see certain hairstyles, you link that to certain behavior. Whether it be right or wrong, that's just what it is and how it works. So it's like I always say, the way you dress determines how people will respond to you. If someone dresses like a prostitute with a skirt that's basically barely covering, with the hole between her legs, and wearing high heel boots, and chewing gum with long fingernails with a purse and standing out at 12 o'clock at night, you're going to assume that she's a prostitute. Now, she might say to you, I'm not a prostitute, I'm just hanging out. Very unlikely, but it's possible. But being that, automatically, you understand what a prostitute look like, you understand their behavior, and that you can expect them to be standing out 12 o'clock at midnight. And when you find someone who fits that, who identifies, or basically who fits that description, it's reasonable to assume that that person is a prostitute. Now, even if what they claim is true that they are not, that doesn't take away from the fact that everyone who comes across that particular person at that particular moment is going to think the same, regardless if it's true or not, because the probabilities are much more greater that that person is a prostitute, because she has the look of a prostitute. I remember Dave Chappelle said a joke. I'm not going to go through the whole joke, but he said that it's like having someone go and dress up like a police officer with the badge and everything and stand on the corner, and you run up to them and say, hey, I need help. Officer, I need help. And they get angry at you like, what the hell you asking me for help for? I'm not a police officer. They like, well, you dress like one. Oh, just because I'm dressed like one mean I am one? You see how absurd that is? But there are people who think that way. Think that even though they fit a particular description, that they shouldn't be based off that. That is what the world is. That's what people are. This is how people operate since the beginning of time. It's not going to change. That's why I hate when people try to change reality by trying to skate uphill. Come on now. You are not Thanos. You are not walking around with the Mind Stones. So we gotta understand. You're going to be judged accordingly to how you present yourself. I'm gonna give you an example. I just thought of this. Kind of embarrassing for me, myself. Haven't even told my wife this story. I may have. This was maybe about 10 years ago. Around 10 years ago. Just 2022 year, about 10 years ago. All right, so I'm living Drexel Hill. I had a court date for child support. Yeah, I went through all of that bull crap with child support after my first divorce. So I literally show up to the courthouse. I'm in my suit and tie, looking fresh and crisp. And as I'm walking down the hallway out of the courtroom, a individual pulled me aside and asked me, what are my fees? And I said, I beg your pardon? He said, it was a lady. Said, what are your fees? Your lawyer fees, because I might need somebody to represent me. And I don't have a lawyer or attorney. I'm finding it hard to find one. And I had to tell her, I'm not an attorney. I'm just here for my child support case also. She was a little shocked, white girl. A little shocked because I fit the description of an attorney. I was walking around with my briefcase. So it was understandable that she thought that I was a lawyer. So I held nothing against her for that. Now the messed up thing, the embarrassing thing is that after, how was it? Yeah, I forget. I'm trying to figure out the courtrooms, how they went. Because all I remember is, shortly after that incident, whatever happened in that courtroom or in the mediator room or whatever, I think it was just a small room with a rectangle table. And they were just pretty much going around and discussing everybody's case. And I was sent downstairs, but I was sent downstairs in cuffs. I wasn't paying them people nothing. And I made sure that, because I was back and forth from here to the continent, but try to say that I owed them $50,000. I'm just coming back from Africa. I don't know, $50,000. Are you out of your damn mind? I made it clear that I wasn't paying you anything. So they took me out in cuffs. And I'm walking out in cuffs with a suit and tie in my briefcase. And the same person who seen me asked me was an attorney, looked at me and was kind of shocked. So that was embarrassing. Long story short, I never paid them a damn dime because I didn't feel like I should have. And there's a whole lot to that. But eventually, one judge, one white lady who was a judge down at the courthouse, she was more of a mediator also. She wasn't like, I forget what you call them, but she was cool, man. She wanted me to she gave me some time to try to get my documents together to show everything that I need to, come back, whatever, which I did. So she suspended the case, and later on, you know, a bunch of things happened, different events, but I was able to get all that wiped off of my record and get the child support case closed completely. So that was the end of that, and I never dealt with child support after that a day in my life. But I told them people I wasn't paying y'all anything, and they thought I was joking, and I wasn't, and I've never paid them a damn thing. But this is to say that it is reasonable for a person to look at an individual. Let me pull up one of these. An individual with pink hair in a loud, that's designed in a loud way. It's not subtle. And say, this person is ghetto. Because when you walk through the most impoverished neighborhoods in Black America, you see a lot of the girls with these particular hairstyles. Bright yellow, red, green, and all types of loud fashions. This is what you see when you walk these communities. But if you go to like the upper class in Germantown or over here on Lincoln Drive, where a lot of black folks are, black folks who are in the 7 and 8 figures, you never want to see that. Serious. You never see that. These type of people, if they're career women, they're all married basically, but even the ones who are not career ladies and stay-at-home moms, you never see that with them. You see them with just subtle hairstyles. Most of them with their natural hair. 'Cause that's what men want anyway. They want women in their natural state. Men keep saying it. And then when we don't like what it is that you do, you attack us for telling you what it is that we like. And what we like is what is natural, what you already have, and not to add on anything additional. And you get upset at that. That's why I say the mind of a woman is totally backwards. And this is why women should not be in leadership. But we talked about that over and over before. We'll talk about that more. Got somebody with hair with a leopard hairstyle, like a cheetah or leopard. It's all white with the leopard prints all going around, short hairstyle. You don't see women like that walking around with their husband and kids. You just don't. You don't see women with a hairstyle like Amber Rose walking around with their husband and children. You just don't. You remember the movie Baps with Jada Pinkett? You don't see women like that walking around the park pushing a stroller with their husband and kids. You just don't. These women are almost always baby mothers, many on type of public assistance, which is nothing wrong with that if circumstances force you into that. But there's something wrong with that if you chose that. But this is what these particular hairstyles identify you as. Have you ever noticed that all these particular people who wear these loud hairstyles are almost always single, or at the very best have a boyfriend that they interchange boyfriend after boyfriend after boyfriend? They have baby daddies. 9 times out of 10 work at fast food restaurants and almost always don't have a respectable hold on the English language. You ever notice that? I'm just asking. Now, the one thing I don't like compare Black America with white America. I'm not really into that. I stick with black and I talk with black. So that's where we need to hold this, because I know a whole lot of people are going to be like, what about Becky and in a trailer park who wore hair like such a... It's not my game. Their men discuss that on their platforms about them personally. So there's no need for me to do so. So, guys, ladies and gent, I'm asking you, do you know that your hairstyle identifies you and people associate that with a certain behavior? Take a woman in a natural beauty. Take a woman who no perm, no anything, may just braid her hair and let it drape. That's seen as beauty, true beauty. Men love that. Men adore that. Aside from how she may speak, but just at first sight, if we're judging just from the neck up and we see that particular hairstyle, we thinking this is someone that I can take serious. Like, everything begins somewhere. So we're starting with the neck up. We'll get into the other parts later on down the line in other discussions. But we're just dealing with the hair. Now, and when I say men, I'm talking about productive men. I'm not talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays. They are the ones who go after these women with these ghetto hairstyles. So that's why they're fit for each other. And when I say fit, I don't mean good for each other. I mean that that's all they can get. So that's all they deal with. And the whole purpose of this is to encourage people to be better, to make better decisions, to have better outcomes. You can't have better outcomes unless you change your habits, change the way that you do things. You can run across all of America with these, and Africa too. In Africa, there's no difference. But the difference in Africa is that the majority of the women who do that are prostitutes. And they know that, because that's how they operate. So they identify themselves as prostitutes by looking that way. Here, you don't know who's a prostitute, because everybody dressed like one. And when it comes to hair, half the time, you don't know who's lower class or middle class. But like I said, for the most part, the upper class do not walk around like that, because they understand that they're a representation of themselves and their family. Because being an upper class, more than likely, you have a family. You have a family structure. That's what I mean. A lot of these women today, they have no family structure. They have no structure whatsoever. This is to say that to give the advice to the guys to let you know that if you see a female with a ghetto hairstyle, she's not fit to be a traditional wife. Just like if you see a female who wears jeans and Nikes or Adidas all the time, she does not fit. She is not fit to be a traditional wife. There is a behavior and a mindset that goes along with everything that we do. Like it or love it, hate it, whatever. The fact of the matter is there's a mindset that is associated with behavior. Walking around in Nikes and tight jeans is associated with someone who is a single mother, bounced from relationship to relationships, one or more baby daddies, as we just said, work a low income job, no real future, at best becoming a nurse, with nothing wrong with that, but it still doesn't get you to where you want to be, because you need a husband. But as long as you walk around like this, you're not going to get a husband who is a productive, strong black man to, in society. You're just not. You only have the options of the Pookies and Ray Rays. There's no other option for you. There's no other outcome. That's what I'm saying. We have to learn to accept our outcome based on the decisions we make. And if we're going to say that I don't care, I don't give a F, I'm going to continue to do this that I'm doing, then never expect a different outcome. Just like they say, insanity means. What is the meaning of insanity? Doing the same things over and over, expecting a different result. You decided to go out with this ratchet hairstyle and you was able to get a baby daddy, nothing more. So you turn around and continue on with more ratchet hairstyles, and what's going to change about what happened in the beginning? Nothing. You're going to get the same outcome. It's the same thing. Men who are highly productive in society or ambitious and very motivated to succeed in life, they care about their image. And when you get a man who cares about his image, he is not going to allow himself to link up with something like that and take someone who looks like that in public. He asleep with it behind closed doors, but he's not going to showboat that type of person around his peers. He'd be laughed out of every single circle. But whether you want to agree with me or not, you know the truth. You know that these hairstyles are associated with ratchet behavior, ghetto-ness, low class, low education, and an inability to properly communicate. These hairstyles are associated with loudmouth women who can't keep their emotions in check, always screaming and cussing, very uncivilized. The minute that they feel you said something wrong or disrespected them, they lose all control. They know different than the animal in the animal kingdom. You know what I say is true. Let me see some more. Now, I'm not going to get into the weight issue. Like I said, I'm going to break all these things down. And the dress, the weight, the talk. We're gonna break this down per video. So, like I said, right now, guys, y'all might start talking about all that. But like I said, I'm gonna get into that. But we're gonna stick with this about the hair. Oh, I can't forget the lace fronts that they say. The lace fronts. Men absolutely hate that ish, but y'all do it anyway. Y'all say there are no good men out here, But the good men tell you, I'm not dating somebody with a lace front. I'm not taking somebody serious who's wearing a lace front. And then y'all say, y'all get mad instead of listening to what y'all being told and make adjustments. Men hate that ish. Pookies and Ray Rays will take anything. They would take anything they can get. Because they have no real productivity in this world. They are not fit to be successful. So they understand they're going to take anything they can get. Productive, high value, mid-level men, whatever you want to call them, they are not dealing with this issue anymore. We've gotten to the point that we said enough is enough. If you don't want to listen, I'm going to go over here and you have fun over there. And it's right for them to do so. They're well within their right. If your men are telling you this is what we want, and you are in defiance and rebellion, they are well within their right to take themselves and their resources over to someone else, even of another race. They are well within their right. And I applaud them. I applaud all men who do that. If the women who are around them, surround them, are ratchet, are wearing these ridiculous hairstyles and lace fronts, and they refuse to do anything different, then let the men go. You already showed that you don't respect them. Because in order to respect a man, you have to listen to a man. And if men are telling you that wear your natural hair, wear your natural hair. If you don't, then they go to another group of people who wear their natural hair. And let you have the scraps, the Pookies and Ray Rays that's on the street. Why is this so hard? Is what I don't understand. Why is this so difficult, so hard for people to grasp? This is how life works. And this mess with this rainbow color hair, oh man. And I'm not downing anybody. If this is who you are, this is what you want. What I'm saying is that you have to understand the outcome that you're going to get. It's not to say that, hey, reject you as my people, or, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that these are the outcomes to be expected, and you shouldn't expect anything more. And when you do that, you get through life a lot easier, with a lot less stress, because you already know what it is that you're going to get. I'm going to run. Oh yeah, this is the picture of Jamie Foxx when he played Wanda. I'm not for women in dresses, but this picture popped up. And it's funny because the hair, this blonde wig and all that. You talk about these episodes of Living Color was like 20, 25 years ago. We're sitting here in 2022 and women are still wearing these type of wigs on their head. No colored wigs, no lace fronts, no multicolors, no loud hairstyles. If you don't want to agree to abide by that, never say, where are the good men? Where's my last bit of tissue? See? All gone. It's all gone. See? Just like all the good men. They all gone. This is what your opportunity at a high value man looks like if you are determined to continue to go out and adorn yourself in these hairstyles. And what's sad is A lot of these people who wear these hairstyles will call themselves Christians when the Bible clearly tells you, do not adorn yourselves in these ways, in these loud fashions, in these designs, to be subtle, so that you could be respected for your femininity as a woman. And even the Bible says a woman's beauty resides in her hair. So moving along, when we talk about ladies with these short hairstyles, how often do you see them married and with men and kids and in a successful 15, 20, 30-year relationship, marriage? You don't. Everything that we do, even our look, is associated with a certain behavior. Women with short hair, sad to say, it's associated with a masculine energy. Even the ones that are straight. It's associated with a masculine energy. And that's why they are not able to find successful relationships. Because a successful relationship ain't one because you've been with somebody for 6 months or a year. Or you've been with somebody 6 years who is not going to marry you because they're still waiting for the right person for them to come along. And then they bounce away from you. That's not a successful relationship. You can't even determine if a relationship is successful until after 7 years of marriage. That's the beginning point. After the 7th year, meaning that once you hit 8 years of marriage, that's when you can start speaking whether you have begun building a successful relationship. So anything less than that, you have not succeeded at anything whatsoever. Ladies, and this is for, once again, the ones who call yourself Christians. This is why I hate that word Christians, because it has nothing to do with God. But I'm just gonna play with it with y'all. The Bible says that a woman's beauty is in her hair. The Bible always says that a woman should not cut her hair. That it is either a sin or a spite. I'm not sure, but it's something that God does not like. But you will have all these women running around in the church with these short hairstyles. But the same God that say they love, the same God that when he speak to them, they don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to hear God. That's why the church is what it is today. Because nobody wants what God wants. Nobody listens to God. They just use the name in order to run it around and have these cliques. Because that's all it is. It's just joining a group, joining cliques. Has nothing to do with God. Because if it has something to do with God, you wouldn't be walking around with short hairstyles. That's just scripture talk, not me. So I'm just saying. And if you're so much a believer, you wouldn't be walking around with these loud worldly hairstyles. But you do. And then when he doesn't give you the outcome that you desire, you blame everybody else but you. Ladies, if you want a husband, a productive man who will protect you, who will provide for you, who will lead you, take stock within yourself. Look within yourself. Ask yourself, does this hairstyle allow me to look like a traditional wife or a wife period? Or does it make me look like the same ratchet women who are running around in the world? You're going to be judged off your hair, like it or not. Now, I'm not talking about the way that white people judge, telling people at work they can't wear this. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about from the opposite sex of people in your community. Once again, Pookies and Ray Rays don't care. They take whatever they can get. They're ghetto. They're ratchet. So they're attracted to that. So they're going to continue to make babies out of wedlock with you over and over and over and over again. Yeah, you're going to be successful at having 4 or 5 baby daddies, if that's what you call success. But to find a man that is highly productive and respected to take you as a wife, you will not find. Nothing that I said is wrong. Nothing that I said is inaccurate. You don't have to look towards me, what I'm saying. You just have to look out your own door, your own window, and see what it is that you see. These women with the pink, the red, the orange, the green hairstyles. Do you see them walking with husbands and their children and being productive in society? Or do you see them being nothing but a baby mama, living impoverished, no real career path, no one to take care of them and provide for them throughout their lives, who think that depending on the government is going to be the end game for them, which sadly mistaken it's not. None of these programs are going to be there for you. I remember that my homie Black sent me that. I should have got that ready too. It was talking about how a lot of the programs, like Section 8 and all that stuff, that has been long standing in America. They're discussing how to completely cut all that stuff out. So you're gonna have a lot of homeless people. When you think you got a homeless problem now, in the coming years you're gonna have a ridiculous amount of homeless people. It's sad to say, the majority of them are gonna be women. So, if your hairstyle is the reason that, or a added reason that you can't find a husband, and you're so prideful that instead of changing your ways in order to find someone who is good for you or is a good man, then you deserve to be homeless. Because if you will fight against me saying this and want to do what it is that you're going to do anyway, you deserve to be homeless in the next coming years. Like I always say, in order to help a people, you have to hurt them first. You can't help people by telling them what they want to hear and what makes them feel good. You can only help them by telling them the reality that exists. And that these things will get you here and these things will get you here. Make a choice. Oh, what the heck is this? Oh man, that's not good at all. I was looking at some post engagements or whatever on Facebook. I'm not even a Facebook guy. I just do it for my Facebook page. But it is what it is. So, with that said, let's get my co-host in here.
Hi, 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 hi.
Holla, 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 holla. Hello, 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 hello.
I just said it a couple of times. You just went off like that.
What's up? No, that was from Dave Chappelle, the guy who died. Anthony something, I forget. What's up, co-host?
We here, we're listening to you. And as always, not 100% is right. So I know for sure we're not going to see eye to eye on that.
Eye to eye on what?
About the hair. About the hair. I understand where you're coming from and what you mean. And then the images of those particular hairs you're talking about. But also we have We have colorful hairstyles, which are very decent, simple, and beautiful to put on. I know that most men love their women to be in their natural look, but some occasions it demands an extra look. You understand what I'm saying? Like an extra look, just to look beautiful, extra.
No, we talking about every day. We're not talking about because you got a wedding or something like that, or there's a ball and you're gonna do this piece to elegant or whatever. We're not talking about none of that.
Mm.
So you're trying to change. You're trying to change it. Change the discussion.
No, I'm trying to make you understand. And about the lace front too, the lace front you were talking about. Which one? We have different kinds of the lace fronts you're talking about. We have some that are the human hairs. Those that come in those forms, they are simple to wear, just to make it look like it's your real hair, but it's not your real hair. Just to cover your natural hair and then make it look like you're wearing a real hair, but it's not your real hair. It's fake. So about the hair, you're
I'm
right.
talking about the one that look like you got strings of synthetic material on top of your head, and you just got a sharp shape up from a barber.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But even men
That
put
don't
on,
even look like hair. Don't even look like hair, but you put it on your head anyway.
yeah, and some are very disgusting to even wear it. When some ladies put it on, when they wear it, you're gonna see all their hairs flying and all that. It's so it's just horrible. Artificial things are not as good as natural ones. So
You know what?
I said, artificial things are not so good as natural ones.
So why not just wear your natural?
Yeah, I know.
If
And
men
then
are telling you, if men are saying, "Hey, I don't want no weaves, I don't want wigs, I don't want none of that, I don't want lace fronts. If you want me to be attracted to you, wear your natural hair." In response, women don't do it. So when the men are no longer attracted to them and they're dating everything else but them, then they get mad. That don't make any sense. Because I can tell you this, outside of Black America or, our black women, the majority of all our races wear their natural hair. And their men prefer their natural hair.
yeah, and there are even more beautiful ways of wearing your natural hair. There are so thousand ways of putting on your natural hair and makes you look so elegant and beautiful. So
So
like,
when I'm asking you, but you're not answering the question, why do women do it?
hmm, some reasons are because of friends. Even if your man says he doesn't like it, you put it on because you want to look good in the sight of your friends. You want them to see that you're also up in the game, like you leveling up in that section. So sometimes it's because of friends. Friends are like, um I don't know. Some are very influential. Then some are very degrading too. They can be like, oh, she's always in her old states, always looking like the grandmommies and all that updates. Come on, be leveling up a little. So sometimes it's because of friends, just to show them you're
No.
looking good.
For one thing, that's not leveling up, that's leveling down. To go from your natural to go to a lace front, it's not leveling up, it's leveling down. Secondly, you made the claim that because their friends are very influential, so their friends have more influence on them outside of their home than their man have within their home. You don't see a problem with that?
Yeah, I know that. And then sometimes it all also comes from the men. We talked about this before in a different topics, in a different thing you raised before. There are men who want their wives to look naturally. When I say natural, like natural, not even putting on makeups. Some women put on those heavy pancakes on their face. Some men don't like it, but they are the same men who go out and chase just the opposite of what they have at home. So
What did we just say? What did I discuss earlier? I said the men might, besides the Pookies and Ray Rays who don't get married anyway, just make babies. I said, even if you found a man like that, a good, productive man, they would sleep with you. But if you look at it, if you look outside your door, your window, and you look at the men who are productive in society, and when they're walking with their wife and their children, look at the way they look.
But why should
You
it be so?
understand?
Why should it be so? Because one way you trying to make your wife look like.
Because men love natural things. Men love natural beauty. Men are half the reason that men sleep around with other women, it has nothing to do with the neck up. It's from the neck down. Most of them who got a body, or maybe they do something extra, or they easily can manipulate them, and they can have them on a string to do whatever it is they want. That's why men do it. Men generally do not marry the type of woman that they could easily go out and have sex with over and over. Because when these type of women that they go out and have sex with, it's usually not long standing. They usually use them to a certain point, then they go get someone else and use them to a certain point, go get someone else and use them to a certain point. But that particular one who has that natural look, her natural hair, they tend to marry and stay with those. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. They want someone like, men always want where peace is. They want something simple, someone they can be able to control. Should I use the word control?
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, like someone they can be able to, how do I put it? I want you to help me out. Like a
Put it like
simple,
this.
like someone who will be able to,
They want a traditional look. Most productive men want a woman who has a traditional look about herself and carry herself in a traditional way and speak and walk in that way. Women who have crazy hairstyles, crazy makeup, crazy dress don't fit that description. So no, they don't marry them. That's what I'm telling you. They don't marry them. And you see that. I don't really have to say this. It shows itself. When you see these men wives, they always have a simple look about them. They always have a simple look about them.
right,
Now, when
everywhere
you see
for that woman.
men with girls who are girlfriends, you may see them look totally opposite. But then go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to Twitter, go whatever. Find anybody that you know. I'm just talking to the audience. Find anybody that you know. Look at their past photos if they show their girlfriends on it. And if they're married, look at the wife they chose to marry and see how different the girls that they used to sleep with look
Yeah.
from the actual wife that they married.
You're very right.
Night and day. Night and day.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, that this whole discussion is to say that if these ladies are hell bent to go out and wear these hairstyles, the outcome is none of these productive men are going to marry you. They're going to sleep with you and use you. And then you'll see when they do get married how different their wife looks from you. And you have men who still might run to you because maybe he feels something sexually for you still. Whatever, that happens. We going to see that to the end of time. But he's never going to marry you and provide for you in the way that he's going to provide for his wife and children. You're always going to be an outsider. So the best you can get is being a side chick and being an outsider. So, like I said, if that is the best case scenario outcome you can get, and you're for that, then so be it. But you're not going to get any better than that. You're not going to be a wife of a highly productive, motivated, and ambitious man. You're not. They're not going to choose you.
Right. Or even if they do, they're trying to make sure they mold you like they want you to be that simple and natural look of a wife.
No. See, that's for a whole different type of class of men who is borderline beta male in the first place. Because a man who has real motivation and ambition, he already knows what he wants. So he's not going to spend his time having to try to change somebody, to mold somebody. Yeah, naturally you mold your wife into who you desire her to be, but also an ambitious man already knows what he wants. So he has to see that already in you to even move forward with you. He's not going to choose someone he knows who's ratchet and ghetto, say that I'm going to spend the remaining years on this planet trying to change this person. He doesn't want to deal with that. Men who are very ambitious know that they have to spend their time competing on the outside. So they don't want to have to come home to compete with anything or continue to argue. And they don't want that. I said it last night that your home is your sanctuary as a man. You're supposed to have, that's where you get all your peace from.
Right.
So men who are extremely ambitious, who work hard, who are trying to move mountains in order to give their family what they desire in life, they're not going to go out and choose these ratchet looking chicks. Even if their behavior is not that, they already associate that look with that behavior. So they're not going to go for it because at best, they're going to think that, yeah, she's ratchet. She's just covering it up because she wants me that bad on my resources.
Mm.
So even then, they're not going to take you serious. And that goes back to what I said earlier. They're only going to sleep with you. You're only going to be a girlfriend or a side chick. You can't get better than that. So your hair does determine your outcome when it comes to a man and the type of man that you can get. You can't get around that.
You're very right. You're really, really right. Just like the perfect example you made about dressing like a whore or a prostitute, but you don't want people to call you that kind of names. So outward looks, it speaks the first expression, like everyone says. They say. So if you want people to respect you, if you want, and the words that comes out of our mouth, these two things tells people who exactly you are, the way you dress and the way you talk.
That's why I say that you have to you have to live in reality because this is the world that we live in. You can have it in your mind and say, well, it ain't right. You can hear women say that all day. Well, that ain't right. That ain't fair. We live in a world that ain't fair in the first place. We live in a world that ain't fair. So if you're so weak-minded that you're going to stay on that instead of making the changes to get the outcome that you want, then that's on you. You lose out. Nobody is going to force you to. No real man is going to try to force a woman to confine to what it is they want. If they see that you're not willing to behave in a manner and show yourself in a way that they feel is respectable or reflection of them, they're going to be out. They're going to move on to the next one. So these women who sit here at 40, 50 years old because their relationship ain't work out, for the majority of them, they're to blame. I
Yeah,
would say this about 85% of the women who are single over the age of 30, they are to blame.
yeah,
Because if women would just do what men ask of them, most men will have no reason to ever leave their relationships. Most men want a foundation because men understand in order to build success, you have to have a foundation first. Foundation breeds discipline, breeds structure. In order to be successful in this world, they understand that you need those things for the most part, for most, in most instances.
yes,
So men are quick to want to find someone to settle with so that they can spend their time moving forward in life dealing with everything else. Because once a man could get the relationship issue out of his life where he's already situated there, he's able to use his mind as an energy towards other things to build on that legacy that he's going to leave you and your children.
right, right. And then you can see some of these ghetto hairstyle looks. Some are very mounted. They are so high that they could reach the sky. It's so horrible. It's been a while since I see someone wear that though, because now wigs are so cheap and then they are simple looking that I doubt people will still be putting on that old and ancient look of hairstyles.
They wear everything. They still wear everything. Like I said, that's from the movie Bats that Holly. No, I said it was Jada Pink. It was actually Holly Berry. That was my mistake. Halle Berry played in this movie called Babs, and it was about two ratchet ghetto chicks or whatever. And hairstyle as tall as can be. I gotta show you that movie. It's a horrible movie though, so I don't know if you can sit through it. But they always had these crazy hairstyle that was just so. All right, we're back. This is how it goes. After the first hour, Instagram cuts off like always. Yeah, I don't know why they don't do 2 hours anyway. So, but let's get back into the discussion. Come on up. Let me bring this movie up Bats real quick. The movie Bats. Movie
I'm right here.
Bats. This movie came out in 1997. This one. Yeah, she even had the gold teeth. So I definitely gotta put this in a clip right here so people get to see how ratchet this mess looks, man. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. This, ever since the movie Bats, these particular hairstyles have been associated with ratchet ghetto behavior. And like I said, productive men, they don't want that. You remember when we drove around and we was looking at homes and we were looking at the difference between the twin homes and the single homes, which were much bigger homes.
Yeah.
And you remember that I told you to look at the difference in the people from different neighborhoods we will be in. You
Yeah.
notice that when you were in a impoverished neighborhoods, that the women looked a certain way, but when you went to the more progressive or the more middle class or upper middle class neighborhoods, that the woman had a completely different look.
Yeah. I realized that.
And yes, and it's true, and that's why I say that it you're judged by that because it was associated with that. The ones who was in a more impoverished neighborhoods, they had the very hairstyles that it is that I'm talking about right now. And they were walking around with pushing strollers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, God knows how many baby daddies. But the ones who were in a higher end communities, the upper class and middle class communities, they had rings on their finger, they had their kids, and they was driving in a SUV.
Yeah.
But their hair was simple, simplicity. You've never seen them with different color hair. You've never seen them with lace fronts. You've never seen none of that.
And
So,
even if they have
so
the word on, it's something simple, something very
yeah.
light.
So it proves my point. It proves my point that your hairstyle does determine your outcome. So, like I said, I wish I could put this up, but I'm gonna put it up on the YouTube when I upload this movie Baps. A lot of people have seen this movie here in America, especially Black America. And like I said, ever since that movie came out, which is 1997, that these particular hairstyles have been associated with bad behavior. So it's what it is.
You know,
You
sometimes
wanna
the hair, sometimes the hair they put on, it gives them the identification of how do you call it, like marine women, marine, how do you call it, marine spirits. We call them mommy what?
a married spirit.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
sometimes
but
they
it's true though.
don't
This is,
dress like.
I said, it's a spirit that comes with everything that we do in life. And you're likely to see a woman who wears her dress long past her knees to be walking around with a wedding ring versus someone who wear a dress above her knees. This is true. A woman who wears a dress above her knees is likely not to be wearing a ring on her finger, but a woman who wears a dress beneath her knees, even close to her ankles, is likely to be wearing a wedding ring.
And you know, you made a perfect example about the African women and the American women. Like when someone dressed like that, you know that that's their profession. She's a prostitute. That's what.
Yeah, I said it. I said that if you were to go up to somebody on a street corner at 12 midnight and they had on a loud wig or lace front, anything, they had long fingernails, they had lipstick and heavy makeup, and wore their dress just above their dress came just below their crotch, and they had knee high boots and was chewing gum, and they had their purse on their shoulder. You will automatically assume that that person is a prostitute because they fit the description. You ever hear the police that yeah, we pulled you over because you fit the description. And it's the same thing. So when you have these particular outrageous hairstyle, you fit a particular description that you are not wife material. You are a baby mom at best, and you're likely to be working at a fast food restaurant or a low income job. You're not likely to ever find a husband. And even if you do, it'd be someone who is just as ratchet as you, a Pookie and Ray Ray, where neither one of y'all can accomplish anything in life. So y'all both going to be miserable because the behaviors have not changed. These hairstyles are associated with a particular behavior that's ghetto and ratchet. And like I said, you could go through America, you go to the continent of Africa, you go to anywhere around the world. It's the same thing. You will not see wives walking around like that with rings on their fingers with their husbands. You're just not. And that's the only difference between America and Africa. I said that the women who dress like that in Africa purposely do that because they're
Yeah,
identifying themselves as a prostitute. So you know that they're a prostitute. So you know that they're selling themselves. So you don't conflict them or get them confused with anyone else to
right.
separate them. So they purposely do it. Here in America, you don't know who the hell is a prostitute or not because they all look the same. And what do you think about what I said about the short haircuts? I said short haircuts are also associated with women who have a lot of masculine energy. And typically you do not see them walking around with husbands either. You see most, I mean, they're not diking it up. They're even single, but they're not likely to be walking with a husband and have a long-term marriage because there's a spirit that comes along with that. Because I talked about earlier, I say even in the Bible, it says that the beauty of a woman resides in her hair. And
Yeah,
even in the Bible, it's forbidden that a woman cut her hair or shave her hair. Even God said that he forbids a woman to shave her hair. But what do these so-called feminist Christians, even though that's not a real word because it doesn't exist, but they're feminists, but they believe they're Christians, if that's such a thing, they go out and wear these short hairstyles and then can't get a decent outcome, can't find a man to save their life, and then blame everybody else. But the very God that they say they believe in already told them, you are not to shave your hair. And they go and shave it, cut it down, wear it short anyway. And then don't understand why they can't get the outcome that they seek.
you
This is
know,
why I said that the logic of a woman is absolutely backwards. And this is why a woman cannot be in leadership roles. I said that yesterday, that the black community has failed because we already know how it worked out, but the women were put in places of power over the men. And that's why it's chaos and dysfunction and division. Women were not meant to be in leadership roles. That's how it is.
with that also, when you look at it in an African way, you've been to Africa, especially Ghana, so you know much about our education system. You know a little bit. Even when you have your natural hair with this length, you can't be in a senior high school, right? Yeah, they
Yeah, I
made it.
know.
They made it in a way that it has become like a culture. It has become a culture that all female, not just female, but all students trim their hair. They trim off all their natural hairs. Even some school have problem with African kids going to school in their dreadlocks. They have to just trim all of
Yeah,
it
no, I've
off.
seen a video on that. But
Right.
like I said, this is why mankind is so corrupted and so evil. Because even Africans who claim they know God, they love God, blah, 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 they do the very thing that goes against God. You're not supposed to shave the head of a female, but they do it anyway. That's why I say when people say they love God, I laugh at them because to me it's nothing but a joke. Because if you put these very people who claim they love God or know God, and you measure up to their beliefs, their faith, and their traditions, it would show that they have no connection with God. And it's sad because it's the truth. But that's just another example that people need to stop claiming anything about God because it's very disrespectful. Just like you said that these children get their heads shaved off, this, that, and the other. And that's why I told you my daughter, living in Ghana or whatever, I would never allow it. Even if I have to, likely she's going to a private school anyway. But I would never allow my daughter head to be shaved a day in my life because I know it goes against God and I know it goes against the natural beauty of a woman, natural beauty of a young girl, natural beauty of a child. It,
Right.
regardless how you slice and dice it, the beauty of a woman, just like the Bible says, the beauty of a woman resides in her hair.
Right.
That's why y'all need to stop this lace front and this wig and weave mess, man. The men are out here screaming the same thing forever and ever. We don't want it. We don't want it.
You
And
have
y'all like,
yeah,
well, y'all going to take it.
do you have any idea how stressful it is to put on those hairs? The heat that comes
But
with
yet
it,
y'all do it anyway.
the discomfort that comes with it, but we still put it on anyway because it's not easy to look good. It's just not easy for a woman to be fashionable. If you want to be fashionable, it costs, it pays. You have to do all that. It's so stressful, trust me, when they put on all that wigs and lashes and
Mm.
nails. So stressful, but they do it anyway.
The
So
men don't want it.
it's
Why
like
not?
that.
Why not this? But why not this? Why these women who claim they want to be married, want to find a good husband, why don't they? This makes more sense to me. I'm just saying it makes more sense to me. Why don't they look at the type of men that they want who are married and look at their wives?
Mm.
Wouldn't that make sense?
You know what? Sometimes when you are dated, it's different from when you get married. When you have to look good, like physically, for the man to be attracted. Okay,
Men
so
are attracted to, when it comes to physicality, men are attracted to two things: a woman's body shape and her face and hair. Her face, hair, I'll say three things: her face, hair, and body shape. If a man gets two out of the three, it's wife material. From the physical standpoint, that's considered wife material. If he gets one out of three, that's only good enough to sleep with. If you haven't heard, if you didn't know, this is how it is. If you have two out of three, you're wife material. Very few have three out of three and can fit the other requirements, which is character, mindset, and all that other type stuff. So it's not likely that you're going to find three out of three. You fit two out of three, you're wife material. You fit one out of three, you're only side chick material.
and
Tell
you
me,
know that it's not easy to.
I want the guy. I'm gonna let you talk, but I want the guys to tell me. When we drop this video, I want the guys to tell me, am I wrong or not? But go ahead, I'm listening.
You know, it's not easy to keep up with the natural hair too. It costs a lot. It takes time, and it's so painful sometimes. So when some women look at that kind of journey to take to go through all that kind of pains, and then it takes a whole lot of financial stability too, because natural hair is difficult to keep. If you don't keep it well, you're gonna look like a mad woman. So instead of going
So
through that,
that don't make sense.
trim it. You know, you just trim it to save cost, to save the stress, and a whole lot of stuff that come with it.
All right, let's test your argument. You said that it's more financially a financial hardship to take care of your natural versus buying wigs, weaves, lace fronts, and all that. Doesn't make sense to me. But let's test it. Let's test that argument. Are you wearing your natural hair right now?
Of course I am.
And people say you look beautiful like that. How much is it costing you to keep your hair that way?
I have to wash it every week.
How much is it costing you to keep your hair like that?
It depends. Sometimes $100 or $50 just to wash
To
it.
keep your hair just the way it is right now. What are you spending? The way you wearing your hair right now, it costs you $100 to do what?
No, like this is just $50 just to wash it. That's it. But you can't just keep it on like this. You have to braid it or do something with it.
No, you don't. Where's that in a manual? Is there a manual that says if you wear your natural hair, you have to braid it?
So you can grow more hair. You can't just leave it like this. You have to
But
take good care of it.
you're confusing me because why you want to grow more hair just to put a wig over it?
That is women. Why do we take off our eyebrows just to put on pencil?
That is just crazy. It's crazy.
That we are difficult,
That's
okay?
like
We
that's
understand that.
relevant to me cutting off my facial hair. A man going to shave his beard off just to plaster a fake beard on it. Do that make any sense?
We are complicated. You will never understand us, okay? I don't know.
How about the word is illogical. Women are very illogical. How about that?
And you know, with the week, you can get like just couple weeks or just 3 weeks, and then you just put them down whenever you're going out. You just put them on. Those ones are easy to wear. Despite the discomfort, the heat that comes with it. But with natural hair, it takes a lot. It takes a whole lot of work.
Like I said, it's costing you nothing to wear your hair the way you got it. Because last I checked,
Do you know that there are some men also who see
no, no, no,
women?
no, no, no. Wait. It's costing you nothing. I know it because I'm the one who have to pay for it if it did. It costs you nothing to keep your hair this way. The only thing you do is take a pick and comb it up in the morning and band it up. Bang. So you can't get that across with me. And if you needed to wash it, you already got me here to put your head under the faucet to shampoo it yourself. So it doesn't cost you anything.
You don't know the pain I have. You all you do is pay for it. $100, $50, that's it. But
Hey,
you have
no. That's when you were doing things outside of your natural hair. Now that you have your natural hair, you're not paying anything.
we don't pay for the pain that comes with it. That's what I'm saying.
Man, you
Convenience.
you you would try to use anything to scapegoat. Seriously, you got a hairstyle. You got a hairstyle that I'm looking at right now. That a woman, she's in her 60s, and she got these plug hairstyle with condoms on each one.
Condoms.
Yes, condoms. This is ridiculous, man. Then you got somebody look like a damn peacock with blue, white, and orange hair. And then this is one of my favorite looks. The big sisters who wear the extensions with the black extensions on bottom and then the red extensions, the bright color red extensions with it going up like this and all the way back. It's one of my favorites, meaning that it's a horrible look.
Mountain that those ones are just something else. They makes you look like a clown or something.
You know what else is bad? Is that when these young girls perm their hair and pull it back and put it in a ponytail, and that look is ghetto and trashy as anything. That already tells you that this girl is straight trash. She comes from poverty.
They
She
use
has no education. That's what it said. Remember when you first came and you took your dreads out and they messed it up, and before you had to cut all your hair off for the first time ever in your life, you permed it, and you said you hated that and you would never do that again.
I never
These women perm their hair for a living. But this is the thing. They would go through all that, perm their hair, and still throw a lace front on it. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, yo. But and I'm not saying like all because people could perm their hair, pull it back, and they just wear it like naturally or whatever. But I'm talking about the ones like I'm watching now where they pull it back and it's all spiked up everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? That you have the strings of everything all pulled out and coming out everywhere,
That's the
and
old.
it's just like so
No,
unkept. That's
nobody
what I mean.
nobody does that anymore. That is an old in an Asian look you're talking about.
People walk around like that every day, especially little teenagers. Come on now.
Oh my god. There are
And
some.
this chick, she looks like she's about 45, 50. She got every color in the rainbow, stripe, and even like I said, I'm gonna post all this stuff in the video. But she got all these rainbow colors that's throughout her whole head, but it's not her head. You could tell that it's a wig. And I'm just like, men hate this mess.
And you know
They hate it.
those kind of wings you can't even go to certain occasions with it because yourself you won't even be able to enter the the reception, like enter the room looking like that.
Let me
So
ask you this. The women with all these crazy hairstyles, are they likely always baby mamas?
you were looking
Be
for my
honest.
show.
Are they almost always baby mamas?
I haven't met one yet, so I don't know.
You be falsifying stuff on here, man.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Anyway, let me stop this before I get in any more trouble, man. Because I already know I'm going to get in pretty enough trouble as is.
it'll be a cool
So,
one.
huh?
I know that single women will go on cool with you very soon.
Yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow, I might have to talk about the heavy makeup because I got my own experiences that I had to check a couple people on that, man.
Oh,
Like,
I
yo,
tomorrow. I have something to say on that makeup tomorrow.
yeah, man. Because it ain't no different how I feel about the makeup than how I feel about this subject right here. So we gonna have to move up. We're gonna have to go from the top and work our way down, from the hair to the makeup to the showing of the breast to the clothing to how high, how short you should wear your skirt. And another thing that I said the people who wear these hairstyles always wear tight jeans and Reeboks and Nikes. They never wear dresses and shoes. They always wear tight jeans, Reeboks, and Nikes like they're a boyish teenager. But seriously, next time you go out and you see them, I guarantee you will almost never see them in a dress. You will see them with the tight jeans and Reeboks and Nikes.
You have
That's
that
it.
I see.
And long fingernails. Straight trash. All right. Let me stop because like I said, I'm already in enough trouble, man. All right. For today, couple hours in, 2 hours. Enjoyed the time, enjoyed my conversation. And so we're just gonna prepare for tomorrow, get ready, turn in for the night. It's been a beautiful night. Feel much better. Um, Getting there where I could go be at full capacity, get back to work, doing all the things that I do on the daily. So I look forward to that starting on Monday. But with that said, this is the Marion Ghana Show. This is Stephen
And Susie.
and we out until tomorrow, same time, my friend. Make sure you follow, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a coworker. We're here, man. We're here for you. All right, peace out. We get back to you guys.